There is a week 5 inquiry overview. Make sure to read that quickly. And then there is a video resource as well as a review image to help you remember fission and fusion. Be sure to watch the fission and fusion review video on nuclear reactors, as it's going to give you a lot of information that we will use when it comes to finishing this assignment. Once you have the video done and you checked out the review image, you are going to want to open the week 5 inquiry resource links list PDF file. That will open a file in a new tab for you, and you'll notice there are links here for you. You're going to want this open as you complete this assignment. So make sure that you keep that link open when you go back to Blackboard. And then when you're ready, you're going to scroll down and find the week 5 inquiry, what type of reactor assignment. And you'll notice there is a file attached, week 5 inquiry, what type of reactor PDF. If you click on that blue link, it will open the directions for you. Once you get this open, make sure to read the overview on the objectives and why we're completing this assignment. And then when you're ready, we're going to have you break up into different groups, and these groups will have their own given scenarios that are different from other scenarios. You will be broken up based on the first letter of your last name. So if you have the last name Johnson, for example, you're going to be in groups J through M. And your scenario will be given to you right here. If you have a hyphenated last name, make sure to use the first letter of the first last name. And then if you have a sibling or friend in the course, make sure that you are choosing different scenarios. You should not be using the same scenario. So let's say you have a sibling in the class and your last name is Johnson for both of you. One of you can choose the J through M scenario, and then the other sibling would have to choose a different scenario. Once you have your scenario, make sure to write it down or take note. And then when you scroll down, you'll notice that there are reactors to research. These are the 6 reactors we're going to focus on, and each reactor would fit a given scenario specifically. These are the only 6 reactors we are going to be using in this project, and you're going to look up these reactors and information about them. Make sure to have this list written down so that way as you are doing your research, you know exactly what you're looking up, and you can separate your information based on what reactor you are looking up at the time. The scenario and the reactors are going to be given in a form of a presentation. Now, again, I'm very lenient on how you want to do this. If you want to type a report in Microsoft Word, you can do that. If you want to handwrite your report, as long as I can read it, you can do that. You can create a PowerPoint presentation, a voice thread with a voiceover if you want. You can record yourself presenting the information. You can meet with me and collaborate. There are many ways to do this presentation. So whatever is most comfortable and what you prefer, by all means do that. There are a few requirements on what I'm looking for when it comes to your presentation. You will need to make sure that you include the scenario you are working on. You should have information, and this is more of a base amount of information, on all 6 reactors that you looked up. You need to tell us which reactor works best with your scenario and why. The why is specifically important. That's what I'm going to look for. You need to back up your information and your pick with factual information. You need to include how your reactor works and how we use it in the scenario to work. We need to make sure that we include any other reactors that might work in the scenario, and again, you need to include why. It's not necessarily only one reactor that would work, so make sure if you have any other reactors, you include those in your presentation or your report. And then you also want to include reactors that would not work, and make sure you explain why. So with the 6 reactors, you might have 2 that work and the 4 that don't. Either way, you're going to include why they wouldn't based on your research. And then you want to make sure you have a reference page or citations, whether it's the links that you used in this resource list here, or if it's a different link that you used. I want you to include that somewhere in your presentation or your report. Make sure that you know your scenario. You want to know the 6 reactors we're focusing on. You can present this any way that you wish, as long as you include the 7 pieces here. If you need any help or if you get stuck, make sure to email me, or we can meet and collaborate and I can help you with this. If you want me to double check your work, I can also do that as well. Otherwise, once you're done with this, if you are working on completing the optional honors assignment, feel free to move on to that next. Otherwise, if you're not doing the honors assignments, you will go into week 6 and begin working on those assignments. If week 6 is not open yet, make sure to open the PACE chart and take note on when week 6 will open so you can begin working on that as soon as you're able.